Hey everyone, and welcome to the DYNA CAST, a podcast where we talk about all stuff nerdy. So sit down, take a seat, grab a snack. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video, and make sure to share it to all your best friends, arch nemesis, whatever you're talking to. All right, let's get started.
You know, I hate how you did that better than I did.
Nailed it.
Kat,
Corey,
thank you for that intro.
you are very welcome.
I'm retiring for intros right now. Okay, thanks. All right, here. Stop saying all right, Corey.
It's all right to say all right.
I know, but you.
All right.
We could do a drinking game to how many times he says all right in this podcast.
Oh, well, it's our first day. Let it fly. We want to experience it.
All right.
Sorry, what was that? One more time.
Almost said it again. I'm just trying to start the show, everyone. The DYNA CAST is back, and we have some new faces with us here today. And I'm not. New people first, Miss Tessa. I mean, I just introduced you already, Miss Tessa Davis. Do you have a socials, or
I do.
Or do you want people to follow you?
Yeah,
maybe?
go for it.
Yeah.
My name is Tessa Davis. I'm on socials, Instagram at Tessa D Davis. That's it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I did it, guys.
A+.
And we have here my brother from another mother, Mr. Michael Antonio.
Yes, Michael Antonio, not the shoe guy. You Google me, you'll understand. You can follow me on Instagram if you like. I mean, I talk about pretty dark stuff, and most of it's not Batman. I think it's Michael Antonio Z, or it's the Michael Antonio Z. Do both. I just know that my picture is a Ninja Turtle. Then you'll know it's me. So.
Yeah, is it red? So is it because you know the old school turtles all wore red.
Yes, I'm like, it's actually a test. When people say, "Oh, is that Raphael?" I'm like, okay, I know where you are.
Because I was like, I know you like Leo, so that's probably old school Leo.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, so when the turtles come back, when they're important, you know, we're gonna have to fight over superiority.
They never lose relevance.
You know what? I don't even care about turtles right now.
It's
they
like,
haven't impressed me in a little bit.
It's like saying Bruce Lee needs to come back. He's always relevant.
That's true. Kat, Miss Eeks, socials.
You guys know mine is cat.michelle E for Instagram.
And I am Corey Gibson, C.GIBSON Rex on Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram if you want, but that's more so for that's more of a personal thing. I mean, my friends follow me. Like my 3 fans follow me, but they're not able to comment because I don't like strangers commenting on my stuff. You know how that's.
Wait, do you like delete them if they do comment?
No, I turn the comments off. So it's only people who follow can comment.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So everybody comment terrible stuff on his Instagram.
Yeah, she already does it.
I didn't know there was a feature. I need to do that.
Oh, yeah. I go every time there's an update. I'm like, what's new in these settings? But, yeah, today we're here to talk about The Dark Knight. Bruce Wayne, my idol, my childhood, not my childhood hero. He's still my hero. And maybe I should bring attention to this beautiful sign here I have made too as well. Anyway, yeah, we all went to see this on the first fan event at the AMC Burbank. And that was the first time we all got together. I was like, hey, I need some new faces on this podcast, and I need some people I can rely on and who's excited to make this show just as I am. And I found them with little effort because they're the only ones who follow directions out of 100 people. 100 people, I tell you. Oh, yes, I'm available. And then don't give me your contact information. All right, I guess you don't want it as bad as these two do. But look at them. One day we're all going to be rich, and you're going to be like, damn, I should have paid more attention to that email. But anyway, when we went, I was just, oops, his brain came up. I
Robot
was
wardrobe malfunction.
so excited because I seen this on Twitter, and I was like, I need this popcorn bucket. I needed it.
Now, Corey, did you put popcorn in it?
The fuck I didn't. I just wanted a cool Batman mask. It's not a mask. I can't wear it, but it's a mask of Batman that you can't wear. And I just put it in my room. And when I get scared, I turn on this little light here. Ooh, let me turn this on.
Ooh, oh my god.
That's an expensive light to put inside of there.
Oh no, that's my for filming.
I know. Those things are expensive.
Oh well, I mean, so yeah, his look at so his eyes glow in the dark. He protects me from nightmares.
That's tight.
That's adorable.
Yeah. So there we go. And that comic, what is that comic book? I didn't even want the comic book. What was it? What was that? What issue is that?
It's Batman: The Long Halloween, #1.
Oh yeah, they just gave you like a quarter of the story.
Yeah.
I was gonna say they usually make exclusive comics for AMC. That's the first time it's been a comic that exists and they just cut it. That's usually what AMC does. That's a first.
Oh. I mean, they reprinted The Long Halloween like 800 million times. So I guess I ain't heard DC much. Okay, so let's start with Caitlin because I know probably it'll be the least interesting.
Thanks.
Story.
Thanks.
What is your history?
Appreciate it.
What is your history with Mr. Bruce Wayne, the Batman?
Well, actually, I have a long history with Bruce Wayne the Batman,
Oh.
so excuse you. Wow. Start underestimate me. No, I started watching Batman as the cartoon because I would watch it like right in
Which cartoon?
It was the animated series. Batman
no.
animated series.
Yeah,
Because it would be on like remember that old like Warner Brothers like kids channel that would pop on?
WB.
Yeah.
Wow, you caught like wait. Okay, was it like season 1 animated series or did he wear black and gray? Did he have the yellow bat symbol on his chest?
Yeah, they did, but those were reruns for it.
Wow.
Yeah, those were reruns for it.
So you came in kind of late on that series, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, I watched that all the time.
Uh-huh.
I loved that. And then after that, I got into the movies. Like my dad showed me, we went to go see The Dark Knight before, and then he showed me all the older ones. I started watching the Adam West Batman, which was probably my favorite when I was little
The
at the
best
time.
Batman ever to exist.
Because he was great. It was funny. Everything was fun.
Yeah.
And stuff. It was something that like, because when you're little, you want a superhero to be a superhero and be all like nice and it's fun, and that's what it was. All the other Batman movies, I mean, like it's
all
But yeah, that's my history. And then after that, I just started watching all the new stuff that came out, like Batman Beyond or stuff like that. And then, watching all the new shows that involve Batman, like Titans and all that coming out. Yeah.
Miss Davis.
I was gonna say, you should have underestimated me.
I think we all feel like that because I feel that way too.
Well. To be honest, I didn't want to talk shit to the new people. Not yet. Not just yet.
It's fine.
It's
It's
just
fine.
me.
Yeah, no,
It's just me.
Not just
good.
yet.
No, well, you're saying she came in late. Like I didn't even watch that. Like,
Oh,
okay,
wow.
Batman, right? Like I know who Batman is.
I hope so. He's almost 100 years old.
Okay, didn't know that.
Yeah, he's in his 80s. 1940 when the first comic came out, somewhere around there.
That's a long
I think
time
it was
ago.
1939. I think that was the year. I just watched a video about it.
1939. Excuse me. Thank you for correcting.
You're welcome.
Don't you ever look at me like that again. Don't you ever in your life. What the hell? You're welcome. Jesus, what the fuck?
Like you got to zoom in on that.
All right, go ahead, Miss Davis.
Well, I've seen him around. I watched the Batman Begins. So, I know Christian Bale is Batman, right? I do know that Ben Affleck has played Batman as
Do
well.
you
I
know
saw him in
Michael
Batman.
Keaton was Batman?
Okay, so I know that, but I've
Okay.
never seen a Michael Keaton Batman.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
What?
So there's that. Okay, so there was one cartoon, I can't even remember. I feel like it's the Fairly Odd Parents, where they always had a joke where it was like Adam West.
Oh
And I was
yeah.
like, who is that?
Oh.
So
Oh, so you're just
Batman.
the everyday person whose
Yes.
relationship with
Yeah,
Batman.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's I respect that. That's cool. We're gonna have a cool conversation because we have a spectrum. Because I'm the crazy fucker, and then she's the casual. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, just casual. Yeah. And then she's just
Again, I don't think that's the right word. I feel like she's the bridge. Right?
the bridge between you two.
Yes.
And then, well, how is your history with the Batman?
Are you done?
Well, the last thing I'll say is I saw Batman Will Arnett in the Lego movie.
That's a good one.
That
though.
is a good one.
It's a good
That is a
Batman
good
movie.
Batman movie.
Okay, now I'm done.
We do cover a spectrum because for me, I'm probably the only one sitting at the table that doesn't like Batman.
Oh.
All right, that has been the DYNA cast.
But I do have.
You don't even like Superman either.
No.
Oh wow.
I can respect you. I don't like Superman.
Mhm.
We've talked about this before, and
I
you have
know,
already come at me.
and it still hurts my heart. There will be no superheroes if it wasn't for Clark Kent. I just want you to know that.
It would be different superheroes if it wasn't for Clark Kent.
It'll be different superheroes. They probably would have came out later. Who
Yeah.
knows? Who knows? Who knows? We don't know unless we have a time machine and stop that from happening.
Yeah.
But anyway, you don't like Batman.
But I have
so-
a history with that. It's not like I've always
Yeah.
not liked Batman. Because in the 80s, 89 specifically, with the Michael Keaton Batman coming out, I remember that as a kid, you seeing Batman stuff everywhere.
Oh
And
yeah.
it wasn't like my introduction to Batman. Like I had saw the Adam West Batmans first. And I'm just like, okay, this is cool. The pow, bang, zoom, zap, all that, the actor warm-ups as punch sounds. It was cool. It was fun. But it was like, I was a child, so it was like, whatever. So by the time I was like conscious and can understand stuff going on, Michael Keaton's Batman came out. And to me, that's always going to be the end-all be-all for Batman. Because I feel like, as far as cinema goes, because I feel like it redefined Batman. Because that whole Batman animated series came from that. And I respected that so much just from a film standpoint. And that got me into Batman. And then Batman the animated series, even as a Marvel fan, I will fight you. Batman the animated series is dope.
Oh,
It's one of the best forms of animation we've ever had as humans being on this planet.
It's coming back. It's coming back.
Oh, don't do it again. but Batman animated series is like what got me into Batman a lot. Like I had the toys, every single game, no clothes, you couldn't pay me. But after, like, I want to say film school, once Christian Bale became Batman,
Yeah.
I was done. I checked out. I clocked out.
Corey's heart right now.
The comics I still enjoy because I'm an artist, so I love the artwork of the comics. But Christian Bale lost me as Batman once he did
Where's Rachel?
that, and when he did
This is John Connor, and this is the Resistance. Also, I'm Batman.
he sound the same. So for me, it was just like, this is Terminator Salvation of the Dark Knight. That's like when people didn't like when Chris Hemsworth went from Thor to whatever that Cinderella Snow White movie was.
Oh,
the
the
Huntsman.
Huntsman.
And he was
Snow-
Thor,
Yeah.
basically. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
don't pull
Yeah,
a
you
Christian
put
Bale.
Chris Hemsworth in a movie, and he's just like Will Smith, Michael B. Jordan. Chris Hemsworth is one. There's another person that's I don't want to say Aquafina. It's just
Yes,
her
no,
voice.
say Aquafina.
No, her voice is so distinct. But she's on some on Apple show. What's the name of that show? I'll put a picture up anyway.
I know which one you're
But
talking about. I don't know the name.
she has range, but
She don't use it.
She hasn't had a chance to use it because she's always playing the clown.
That one movie she did though, I respect her for that. It was a serious movie about, I think her grandmother
The Farewell.
was that what it's
I
called?
think
She's
so.
she's dying or something, and they don't want to tell her, and she's the younger of the generation, and she's like, "Why don't you tell her?" And she was serious throughout that movie. I mean, she had her. I feel like when you're a comedic actor, you can't help but to be funny. Like Chris Rock and Spyro, like you can't help but to say funny stuff. Or Samuel Jackson in anything. It's like,
Samuel Jackson, yeah, he's another one.
yeah, you can't help but to say something. Like even as a cartoon, Samuel Jackson is Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
Frozone, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about. What?
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 You've never seen Incredibles?
Yes.
All right,
Oh.
we derailing.
Oh, yes,
we
yes, yes,
derailing.
yes.
We're derailing. We
Sorry.
derailing.
My
We're derailing. See, I knew it. I knew it. I was gonna keep my eyes on you, boy.
I was gonna bring it back, but yeah. Going back to Christian Bale, like I don't want to say he ruined Batman for me, but he didn't help it. But the comics I still thought were comic books are works of art. I'll physically fight a person over that. I still enjoyed the animated Batman stuff, like the movies that came out after, except for the Ninja Turtle one. That was bullcrap.
Well, Batman Ninja Turtle.
That was crap.
I was like, oh my God, my heroes are meeting. But then I never watched it. I didn't read it. I just kind of didn't care.
Nah, I couldn't. I don't. No. No. You can't. No. you. Whenever they make heroes fight each other, you always have to vilify one of them.
Yeah.
And I hate that because it's just like,
Why don't they just work together?
yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
the DC Marvel crossover. I liked how they had Spider-Man talk to Batman villains, because if you look at it, most Batman villains, if you talk to them, it'd be a different situation. And Spider-Man's always trying to talk to him. Batman, he's like, ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah,
He
he
just punch you in the
doesn't.
face. It's like, oh, it's Tuesday? Cool, calendar man. It's like, that's how Batman goes.
Well, I
Oh.
mean, that's his MO. He's just gotta keep that fear in you. You know how
Yeah.
your parents is just like, I'm gonna get the belt. I mean, if you ever got a spanking,
Get the switch.
yeah, switch. It's like, I better. Okay, so my history with the Batman is very elaborate, but I'm gonna keep it short. I started with Adam West and the Hanna-Barbera cartoons. There were also Adam West and Burt Ward.
Yes.
And so I grew up with the cheesy shit. Then Michael Keaton happened, and then I also had all the toys and shit like that. And then around the 90s, there was the animated series. I watched it while it was new.
I'm sorry, I was a 90s baby. Couldn't comprehend
Well, you
the
should have
show.
told your parents to meet sooner, right? You missed it, Caitlin. You missed it. You should have been there.
Still watched it. Okay.
But anyway, I kind of fell out when the art style changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just like, I was like, whatever. Tim Drake was like, oh shit, there's another Robin, and then Dick Grayson was Nightwing, and so on and so forth, whatever. But yeah, Batman's been around. I'm not much of a avid comic reader, but I keep up with the mythos of Bruce Wayne in the comic book. So I know it, but I'm not an expert. So I can tell someone when they're wrong, but then when there are the details that I'm missing in between various reboots of the DC universe.
Various is putting it nicely.
So many. But anyway, then comes Christian Bale, the real Batman. And when I say the real Batman, I don't mean as like he's the definitive Batman. I just mean he's the most realistic Batman up to that point. Batman Begins kind of changed my life. I was just like, man, this movie. Well, his voice in Batman Begins was better, and then I don't know what happened in the next two movies. It's just so rusty. I don't know what happened. I
Your boy needs
rewatched.
a lodging the whole way through.
I rewatched the movies recently, and I guess because I watched them so many times, it just didn't feel the same because those movies were always so inspirational to me. And like whenever I felt lost or I didn't have motivation, I'm like, what would Bruce Wayne do?
Aww.
Yeah.
What
So
would Batman do? And that always, kicked me, jump started my circuits, for better lack of words, because I'm a robot. But then also the Tumblr, I was in love with the Tumblr for the longest time. Lord Jesus. The Tumbler. It's the best Batmobile. It just drives through fucking walls. Tumbler don't give a fuck about traffic lights or it doesn't care if you're in its way. It's just gonna run you over.
Not gonna lie, for 2 seconds I thought you meant the app, not the Batmobile.
Oh,
Yeah, see, I didn't even.
I was like,
the Tumbler. The Tumbler.
I was about to look it up.
Yeah, once you said it went through walls, I was like, oh, the car.
Yes, the Batmobile is called the Tumbler. Yes. And ever since then, like my idea of what a Batmobile should be should change because I always thought the Batmobile should be a pretty car. You know, Adam West, Christian Bale. And I don't want to go past Adam West because the Batmobile back in the day, back in the 30s, was just a yellow car.
Yeah.
Or a black car. So, you know, when Bruce Wayne was driving it, it had the top on, but top down, it was the Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's like Clark Kent with his glasses.
yeah, it's like, what if he still had his license plate on? I mean, people's guards down were what people had their guard down back in the day, so they probably didn't. Oh, Mr. Wayne, how's it going? You know,
Right?
so where'd you get that scar, Mr. Wayne?
Why are you limping?
I read Batman issue 1 and I read Detective 1, and those are different times.
Mhm.
Those are real different times. But,
Yeah,
Yeah.
did you read the ones where Batman uses a gun?
oh yeah, that's
he
why
started with a
That's
gun?
why
Those
I
are
didn't.
funny.
When people were like, "Oh, Batman doesn't use guns," I'm like, Batman shot some fuckers before.
He started with a gun.
He started with a gun
Because they
you
didn't
know?
have his backstory yet. They didn't do it yet.
Yeah, he was a man with a gun.
Mhm.
But
How
is
far
it-
into it did he? Like how many issues?
I couldn't even tell you.
Mm.
Yeah, but like I said, the DC universe is a wild ass place.
Okay.
But going back to Christian Bale, that was my Batman for a while, and then you know I always believe a hero should have an ending, and that's one thing about comic heroes is that they do all these reboots and they'll rewrite a character's origin. It has canon in the word. Anyway, they'll rewrite characters' history.
Could just be canon.
I think it's
No.
canon.
Yeah,
No.
just canon.
No?
No, when they go back and add to the canon.
Oh, retcon?
There you go, retcon. They go back and they retcon stories. But I was listening to a podcast with Fat Man on Batman. Kevin Smith. There we go.
Dang. I was just
Look,
throw out names.
that's the name of his podcast.
Oh, okay.
And Kevin Smith is no longer fat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is Batman on Batman.
It does. I'm pretty sure that the title is intentional. If you, but he mentioned that superheroes are always in Act 2 of their lives, so
Mhm.
we know where they came from, and then we get where they are, and super from when I started reading the DC universe, I was introduced to was After Crisis, and that's roughly about 40 years.
Mhm.
And that's a 40-year Act 2. If you think about it,
Dang.
that's 40 years of Act 2.
Mhm.
So when The Dark Knight Rises came around and he gave Batman an ending, I was all like, I always wanted to know what would happen to Batman if he decided to like quit. You know, Dick Grayson will, take over. Maybe Damian, who knows? We never know because it never been there. Nobody knows. And one thing I want to mention, Dark Knight Rises is like, John Blake's gonna become Nightwing. No, the fuck he won't. That defeats the purpose of the whole movie. Because he wanted Batman to be a symbol. So why would someone else take up the mantle and be someone else? That defeats the purpose of
Yeah.
the movie. John Blake would become Batman, a different Batman. Maybe similar to have some Nightwingish elements. When Dick Grayson became Batman and he had his
Mhm.
little collie sticks.
Yeah.
Maybe that
Mhm.
that would be his version of Batman. He's not gonna be fucking Nightwing. It doesn't make any damn sense.
Yeah. Yeah. You skip a whole.
Yeah,
skips
his
the whole
name was
arc.
Robin. That wasn't his moniker. He was Robin
Mhm.
John Blake. so he doesn't need to become Nightwing
Yeah.
like in the comics. But anyway, now we're here in modern times, and we have a new Batman, Mr. Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson. I stuttered a
Robert
little
Patterson?
bit.
Yeah, I messed up his last name too.
No, Pattinson.
Pattinson.
Mm-hmm. Pattinson.
Pattinson.
S-O-N. Yes.
Okay.
Well, he's Batman now. So
Yes.
He is the Batman.
We have a new Batman, and
it turned off.
Yeah, BTS.
Oh.
And this is even realer, more realer than Christian Bale's Batman. And the one thing about Batman movies is that they were always action movies, and this one is a noir, and it's very slow. And if you haven't noticed, I'm not too much of a fan of slow movies. But at the same time, I love this. So it's like my love for this movie is just kind of like, I don't know yet. So I only seen it the one time. I was going to see it tomorrow, but then I realized I had to do my taxes. But I still need some time with this movie to actually get my feelings across about how I feel about it. So the promotion for this movie was, I didn't really follow it too much, but it was kind of resemble the promotion they did back in the day when the Dark Knight came around with the Joker. It was very similar. They had a website where they left clues and stuff like that, and they dropped videos. It's like, oh, look at this video. It's actually happening somewhere in Gotham, but Gotham's not real, but it's kind of real for a Comic-Con. And yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start off with the Riddler. The
Riddler.
His
Riddle
name.
me those.
His original name was Edward Nygma back in the day, and now he's Edward Nashton. The Riddler is played by. I assumed you was just keeping ahead.
Yeah.
That one dude.
I always forget his name because he's not in a lot of things.
Yeah, I never.
Like,
I
he's
never
really
knew
not-
this man existed till now.
Like
I knew his face.
he's like, I was just talking about someone. He like the last important thing he was in was when he was a kid. Like that was like one of his biggest things. I forget what the movie is now called.
It's Paul Dano. And when he was a kid, let me look. I got
Wasn't
you.
it like The Sandlot or something like that?
Thing.
He's like one of those, right?
I think.
Really?
He's like that old, right?
Let me see. All the way back.
All the way back to his childhood.
Well, he was in maybe not childhood. The Newcomers. No. Well, The Emperor's no. Was it a TV show? You said?
No, I think it was a movie.
Swiss Army Man.
Swiss Army Man. Oh, he was in Swiss Army
I feel like he's in a lot of stuff.
Man. Yeah, but he just
He's
doesn't
in-
have the face.
Right. To be
To be
I
remembered.
saw
So
he's
sad,
also
but yeah.
in 12 Years a
I
Slave.
was gonna say that's where I remember him.
That's
Okay.
the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have that, like,
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot up a school face, you know?
He really.
Oh,
does.
he really
had that
does.
look like that's the guy that's going to do it.
Well, in the movie Prisoners, he plays that character, right? Where they think that he took the kid, the little girl.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he's talk about like character, like not putting him in a box, but he definitely plays. That dark
he's that
energy.
type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But-
thought he did really well for this character. Then, like, he was like he was trying to be like a psycho, like which he was, but he was like a nerdy psycho. Where it's like if you take the mask off, I don't take you seriously. anymore.
Right.
But the thing is, that's the whole mislead, because he's like, oh, what this punk bitch gonna do next thing you know, you got a
Right.
knife in your back, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like even when he went to like murder people in the movie, like it was like kind of like he didn't really know what to do. Like he was kind of like skittish about it. Like he didn't
Yeah.
come ham. Like he didn't like go like full on like something like Bane or
Right.
one of them would do. He just
the,
like
the
hesitated.
intro scene when he was standing behind homeboy for at least 5 minutes
Yeah.
in the dark,
Mhm.
just standing there. I was like, is he gonna do something?
Yeah.
It actually speaks to his character that he can just stand there. He's untrained. It's not like he's an assassin or anything.
Right.
Mhm.
But the fact that he can just stand there unnoticed, it
Mhm.
actually speaks to a character like that in real life, like people like that go unnoticed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and that's usually what makes people like snap. They go so long being unnoticed.
Yeah.
So for him to do that, I just felt like that was a smart move by Matt Reeves to do that. To just have him standing there and like, oh, you don't notice me? And then like what he does, that brings notice to him. So it speaks on two different levels. Like, you're gonna notice me now. It's like, you're gonna know my name. And I kind of like that they gave him a mask. At first, I wasn't really into the whole Gimp mask thing.
Well, I mean, he always wore a mask. The Riddler always wore a mask.
Yeah, but not like that.
Not like a full face mask though.
Yeah, but I like that they gave him one the way they
And he's
did.
modeled after which serial killer?
He's. Is it Leatherface?
No.
No.
He's a real guy.
No, yeah.
Leatherface was a real guy.
Leatherface.
Oh
was a
yeah,
real
that
guy.
is. I forget.
I'm like, he was a real guy. I was
Um,
stationed with somebody who lived down the street from that.
That's
Zodiac Killer. He was
Oh,
modeled
the
after the
Zodiac Killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, like when people do that, I mean, like, is that glorifying people like that?
Calendar Man wasn't after the Zodiac Killer? It was the Riddler? I thought it was.
No, not the Riddler in general. This version of the Riddler.
Oh,
because
okay,
even
yeah,
his
yeah.
Riddler symbol is kind of
Yup.
similar to the Zodiac
Yep,
Killers.
it is.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, it brings it more real. Like we said, that this is a more real world Batman movie. So bringing in that element makes it even more real because that has happened or that could happen. That's like a modern Zodiac thing
Yeah.
because it's all tech instead of written notes.
He did write notes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wrote.
But he
And
did-
he even had Riddler traps
Yeah.
that they weren't like crazy, like
he was like Saw right there.
Yeah.
He had Saw traps.
Yeah.
Saw that
So,
rat
like, he-
one.
it was like the realest version of the, like, he was the Riddler, and
It's hard to say it without spoiling it for
I mean,
earmuffs.
Okay,
Earmuffs.
yeah,
he's the Riddler without being so recognizable.
Mhm.
Like if someone's like, "Oh, this is the Riddler," I'll be like, "What?" But after you see it, then you start to get it.
Yeah.
Like everything is still there, and they didn't like the Nolan stuff. They didn't like take things out of it to make it realistic.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna be like an older man. Like his voice sounded, you know, like when he's like doing the videos and everything and he's talking, he just sounds like older. And I'm just like, oh, like because I didn't remember that this was, you know, Paul Dano was the character playing him. And so I was just like trying to guess what this guy looks like, you know, throughout the movie. And so I'm just like, oh, it's like, you know, a 45-year-old like white man, you know, and I honestly,
Yeah.
you know, talking about in the movie theater, like sitting closer to the exit just in case something happened. I was like, okay, this is the kind of guy that would, you know, like
That would come do that
Yeah.
shit.
yeah, well, it made me think of the Las Vegas, you know, shooting, you know, because he's like in a hotel room and he has this whole thing planned. You know, I know that's a real life thing, so it's like hardcore, but
Yeah.
anyways.
I mean, that's the whole point of this movie.
Right.
It's just so
Yeah.
many touches of reality that'll make you believe that this is happening, because like the Christopher Nolan movies is just like, oh, if Batman was real, so
right.
you could believe it. But this is more like, is there someone out there doing this? You get what I
Right.
mean? Is it? I mean, it kind of seems like this is believable. This is
Yeah.
all achievable things. I don't know about the grappling hook though.
Nah.
I feel like the villains, yes. The hero, no. I would never see a 1%er going out of his way to do this.
I mean, that's
No.
not no.
We've already asked for it.
we
Hasn't
had
happened
that
yet.
discussion about my version of Batman.
But we're talking about the version of Batman that exists.
Yeah.
Not the version we want to
Yeah,
exist.
that my version of Batman makes a lot more sense, you know.
This
But this,
Doesn't.
like, it's all like he becomes Batman for a very selfish reason, but does selfless things, you know. So,
I personally still, my favorite iteration of Batman is still the Flashpoint version. I feel like that one.
oh,
makes the most
Thomas
sense.
Wayne.
Yeah, and then the way
Oh,
the
yeah.
mother becomes.
I
Batman.
love that series. That's like one of my favorite spin-offs of Batman. I love that one.
Okay,
Bruce dies instead of the parents.
Oh,
Flashpoint.
interesting. I'll
Oh
look it
yeah,
up.
sorry.
Yeah.
Because she was looking like, what?
Like,
Well,
yeah,
what's
look that up
happening?
later.
which is like I said before, it was interesting with this movie because it's kind of the same thing, except I mean his parents still died. But if they didn't, and Bruce did it, they could still do it with how they kind of acted for this movie, the backstories and everything.
Oh yeah, especially this version.
Yeah,
Because
she was nuts.
well, I guess we can talk. Well, let's save his parents for later.
Yeah.
Catwoman. This
I didn't mind her. Like
Catwoman's always been played a certain way. Like she always, I don't want to say like she purrs because some Catwomen actually purred when they talk.
Like perfect.
that's perfect.
But it's just the
Michelle
cadence, the cadence of her voice where she's just like, Bruce Wayne, you know that. But this Catwoman didn't have it. She was just a girl, and she was gonna whoop your ass.
She was a normal person that
Yeah.
was trained that she had moves and she was she was
yeah.
just
So
gonna whoop your
like
ass.
everything was about her was Catwoman, aside from how she talked. Like her nails bothered me. I'm just like, oh my god, your nails are so long, lady.
right?
Yeah, that is in. That is in right now.
Yeah, as a fighter, I don't believe that her nails should have been that long. If she's in combat, her nails should not have been that long.
But she
No.
used them as, like.
Yeah. I
They'd
mean,
break.
that's.
Realistically, they break.
They
Oh
would.
yeah, because
They would break.
mine get this
They would
long,
break.
man. They real bendy.
Yeah, like
I
I, like
mean,
that,
You
She
take
might have
vitamins.
fake nails. She might have acrylics, and
Yeah,
those
they
are
were-
long. Those are hard.
and I like that they had her drinking milk at one point because I'm just like, okay, that kind of makes me feel like your nails have more density. All right, thanks.
Yeah, but then she
Yeah.
left the refrigerator door open for so long. You know how much that bugged
The
me?
light didn't cut off.
Oh my gosh. I was like, the milk is gonna go bad.
It was a film choice. It was for lighting.
I couldn't.
Oh yeah, see,
That's what
look
it was.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
backlight.
Yeah,
Everything in frame is on purpose. Sometimes.
of course.
Yeah.
Except for the wires and Ninja Turtles.
I thought she was an okay Catwoman. Like I enjoyed her. She was a young, again, just like Bruce in this one. She was a young Catwoman too. She didn't know what she was really doing. She had one thing to do, and she was like, "I'm done after this." But obviously, she's probably not going to be done after this. This is just like her first mission,
Mhm.
and this is what she's been doing ever since like her mom died. And this is all she's wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So
You want to cover your ears?
Yeah.
Cover your ears.
Yeah,
I don't want to
please.
spoil this for. I don't even want you to hear it. I don't even want you to hear it.
Yeah.
Her father, though. Her father.
I thought that was an interesting twist.
that I
Yeah.
was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Sometimes you have to dilute from the comics in order to keep people like us who actually know the comics interested. Because
Yeah.
everyone else, like when you watch it, you're just kind of like, oh, that's cool. But for someone who's like watches like all this stuff and reads this stuff, we're sitting there like, oh, we already know what's gonna happen. So when you throw a curve like that, you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
because they
didn't see
never
that.
really touch on Catwoman's parents. It's like, who the
Yeah.
fuck are they? Sometimes they're rich people, other times they're not. But like
Yeah.
freaking Carmine Falcone is just like, that's her daddy.
yeah,
And her mama was like a hole in his little
Yeah.
little club. I mean, just like
Whom he
It makes-
murdered.
that all the motivation. It makes sense why she's doing what she's doing, as opposed to she's just, oh, I just want to steal and give to the poor just because.
Yeah.
It makes everything is connected, because I went into this movie thinking like I had to pay super attention to all the details to catch all the clues, but it kind of hand delivered you everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, I kind of was distracted because I was so busy trying to pay attention to everything that I guess in a sense wasn't paying too much attention, if that makes sense, you know? So I was like, what does this mean? What does that mean? What I should just, the movie was just giving me all the answers
Yeah.
if I just watched it.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I went through the movie thinking there was going to be multiple storylines because it was so long.
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
all connected all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like nothing like was like, oh wait, what happened to this guy?
Right.
Like that's a loose end. There wasn't really a loose end.
Yeah, it's like her connection, Catwoman's connection to Falcone. Falcone is connected to the Waynes. Oswald is connected to Falcone. And then, Gordon is a cop, so he's connected to everything. And then Bruce is a Wayne, which is connected to Falcone. And then the Riddler was affected by the Waynes, which Falcone and the corruptness affected the Riddler. Basically. That's basically what happened. I don't want to get into the details because it's real Still foggy. I need to watch the movie again because it was just a lot.
Yeah.
Are we trying to avoid
information.
spoilers on here or just here?
No, you're good. I mean,
Oh,
I just
no,
didn't want to
he's
hear.
not, 'cause I was about
I
to
didn't
say-
want you to hear the Catwoman part. That was interesting. That was interesting.
But for them, it's okay if we.
Oh
say
yeah,
something.
this is spoiler. This is a spoiler review. Did we mention that before?
No.
Nope.
Oh,
You should probably put.
But I mean,
spoilers.
if we're saying
Yeah.
if we're saying that this is a Batman like
We're-
episode, they should know.
Yeah.
yeah, I'll put it in the title.
Yeah.
Batman spoiler review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody here play the games, the Arkham games?
Yes.
I feel like that's what this movie was. The last two iterations of the Batman movies or Batman character in cinema.
You know what? I sometimes just disappoint myself because I was here telling my history about the Batman, and I forget to mention my favorite Batman, Ben Affleck.
I was waiting for you to say that. Like I was waiting because you say that all the time.
But you did say Christian Bale was your Batman though.
No, I didn't.
And
I
then
said
you
he was the
stopped.
real Batman.
But then you also
Right.
said he was your Batman.
Oh well, yeah, he was my Batman until Ben Affleck showed up, and then he was Batman.
Yeah,
Just straight out the comic books.
you
Just-
alluded that part.
Yeah, I left him out. I'm sorry, but I mean, there's not too much to say about Ben Affleck because Warner Brothers fucked everything up and just like this
Yeah.
movie was supposed to be his movie. This was the title of Ben Affleck's movie, The Batman.
Yeah. It's not the script though, but
No,
it is the movie.
no, the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had his own script and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna direct it. I'm gonna star in it as the Batman," and I won't ever get that movie.
Nope.
Unless
But
after
I
the
mean
Flash
that fight scene that was
Yeah.
some Arkham shit from BVS.
You talking about in Batman vs Superman?
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole time I kept saying, I was screaming in the audience, he's pressing triangle. Like that whole fight, I was like, yeah. Because at the time, a lot of people don't know this, but at the time, Ben Affleck was in the running. Obviously, he got it. But Scott Adkins was the also alternate choice for Batman. And as a martial artist, I wanted it to be Scott Adkins because I'm just
Scott
like,
Adkins would break someone's bones, man.
we haven't gotten like that pure martial arts aspect of Batman.
That's one thing about when they do movies, they'll cast the actor like there's a show on the CW called Kung Fu. I won't ever watch it because none of those motherfuckers know how to fight.
Nope.
I just looked at the trailer, I'm just like, nope. But I understand, but there are fighters who know how to act. But they don't, they're just always the stunt people. And I'm
Yep.
just like, well, I'm like, this freaking thug fighting better than the main character. What the hell is this?
Yeah, because they don't cast the main martial artist most of the time.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah.
Them days are over.
Well, if we're still talking about the Catwoman,
Oops.
I wanted to ask you guys what you thought about her mask because I know the masks are different, and it felt like a ski mask that they would just like cut off this little part. Like, did you?
It
guys
felt like she was
that?
wearing a beanie and then she
Yeah.
just pulled the
The-
beanie down. and cut
The
it.
mask fit for her living situation. Like someone that lives right there that makes that much money is not gonna have a costume. They're gonna have a jumper that they found at a thrift store and a beanie that they cut some holes in,
But her,
and that's okay.
Yeah.
but her suit looked so much more expensive than her beanie.
It did.
That was my only issue.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Like, did it match?
this looks like Ross. This looks like Dollar Tree. I was like, I don't get it. But I personally liked the iteration of it. Like it made sense.
Yeah.
I like when they do that thing with Catwoman when they make the costume look like a cat and not be a cat. Like when Anne Hathaway just flipped her goggles up and it was
Yeah, and it
ears.
looked like cat
Yeah.
ears.
like, and then Zoe's her little
Yeah, our little
Like,
thing.
The seams.
yeah, I like that. I'm
It
like,
gave me
interesting.
real like cat burglar vibes, like because it is a
Because
ski
she is a
mask.
cat
Yeah.
burglar.
That's exactly
So
what she
like,
is.
but like all the other ones, they don't have that beanie that has the ski mask that is a cat burglar. Like initially, that's what cat burglars wear. That's always been
I
the
mean,
joke
like,
that they wear.
Anne Hathaway, which is my favorite Catwoman still to this day. She looks like a cat burglar, and
Yeah.
it just so happens that her goggles look like cat ears, and like her goggles, they're night vision goggles, so she can see while she's robbing you blind, and
Yeah.
you know. So I mean,
But I'm saying this is like you go down to like Riverside and try and rob a house. This is the burglar costume you're gonna
that's
wear.
the one that you gonna see Zoe Kravitz in Riverside robbing you.
So if there are any robberies that happen, we do not. No.
It's Zoe Kravitz. She's gonna break. No one has a safe in the IE.
No, No.
You ain't got no safes.
But
because we
going
got
back
no
to
savings.
what you said. Her character as a whole in the movie, I feel like she was unnecessary. I feel like they could have taken her out and the story still could have moved forward.
I felt like because Bruce Wayne wasn't in this movie, it was just Batman.
I do want to get to that. I do want to get to that.
Yeah.
You kind of needed that to break it up.
Yeah.
Because I think I would get bored just watching 3 hours of Batman.
Yeah. No, me too.
I can see that.
I actually didn't get bored watching 3 hours of Batman,
But,
being
like-
your resident non-Batman fan.
I feel like she yeah, she could be taken out, but if she was taken out, he couldn't go like in that covert mission in the club because he didn't want to be himself. He was already awkward when he
Right.
tried to.
Right.
To defend the
Because Catwoman is a connection to the mob bosses.
Yeah.
to defend the Batman mythos, I feel like he would have figured it out. The only reason I say I feel like her character was unnecessary is because I would prefer if they focused the movie just on her and him, just because their relationship as characters, I really like their relationship, and I feel like if they would have spent 3 hours just focusing on her journey to not become that killer, and he stopped her like at the end, just the way earmuffs, just the way he did. I feel like that would have been dope if that was like a 3-hour movie. And that's just because I want more Catwoman. That's the only reason I say that. I feel like she should be taken out. Not because I feel like she's utterly useless in the movie. I mean, like, she would have been more useful if it was a 3-hour movie based on just her.
Zoe Kravitz needs a Catwoman movie.
Yeah. I mean,
She does.
She'll probably get one though.
I don't see it coming really from this one because I feel like she wasn't in it, like you said, she wasn't in it enough to get her own spinoff directly after this film. She needs another one to be in.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good introduction. Like if they do another film
Yeah.
with her in it, like another Batman film,
Yeah.
we at least know her enough to where it's like you're rooting for her now. Versus
Yeah.
now it's just like,
Yeah.
as a person who doesn't know Batman, not me, but like other people who don't know Batman,
Yeah.
they don't know if she's friend or foe. And I
Yeah.
like that they don't really establish that 100%.
Yeah, I agree. Well, and I think she had one of my favorite parts in the whole movie, where going back to this cat burglar, because I didn't know that, right? Like, but that makes so much more sense. But when she rides off, she grabs, the bag of cash, gets on her, and then
Yeah.
like hits the guy and goes. I remember like being in the movie, like, check yes, like thank you, I needed that. But
Yeah.
I also, if she was removed, because I think. She's necessary, yes. But I think if she was removed, she's technically the only like female character.
Yeah, I feel like
Like,
it's
in
the
the
reason.
I didn't even
entire-
realize that.
in the
Yeah,
entire.
she
movie.
literally is the only one besides the mayor who's only in there for
She's only in there for like
2
two
seconds,
scenes,
yeah.
and they're like less than 30 seconds.
The
I
black
want to say.
lady?
Mhm.
Oh.
Bella Real. I guess you can say that.
Like, it's okay for me to say that.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, don't repeat.
I always like to keep a short show, but we are already 47 minutes in. I didn't even realize.
Oh my gosh.
Can we keep talking though?
Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be
We'll
a
do a
long
part
episode.
two.
People don't like the long episodes.
2-part. Make it 2-part.
I could, but I mean,
It's not that hard. Just cut it in half.
I know cutting it. Anyway, so we're on to Bruce Wayne, the Batman.
This is the most emo Bruce Wayne I've ever seen.
If you watch the Batman Begins, and the part where he gets slapped by Rachel because he's like, I didn't get to kill him. That part, and he's he gets that slap. If that Batman never left Gotham, that's this Bruce Wayne.
That's funny.
That's that guy.
Mhm.
With this iteration of Bruce, or Batman's period, my favorite thing... Okay, I have to go backwards before I get to this one. The thing I hated the most about the Christian Bale Batman movies is that out of a 2-hour movie, he was Batman on screen for like 10 minutes. I hated that. This one...
Well, that was the whole point of that movie, because he wanted people to be invested in Bruce Wayne and not Batman, and not count down like, oh no, when he's going to become Batman, because he wants you, because Bruce Wayne is Batman. So if you're not invested in Bruce Wayne, then you're not necessarily invested in Batman.
Here's my thing, though. I don't feel Batman is Bruce Wayne. I feel like and Robert Pattinson even said this, and he immediately became my favorite Batman when he said this in an interview. He said that he feels like Bruce Wayne doesn't exist to Batman. and very few people understand that when you read a
Oh
Batman comic.
yeah. Bruce Wayne. There is no Bruce Wayne. There's only Batman.
Yeah, he's psycho. He's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Batman.
the alter ego.
That version of
That's Bruce.
that episode of Batman Beyond, and he's all like, people think I'm crazy. There's some audio guy, and he was making them hear voices, and he's all like, oh, the voices kept calling me Bruce, and he's like, I know I'm not crazy, and he's like, what do you call yourself in your head? And then he just smiles. He's like, he doesn't call himself Bruce in his head.
Yeah, he's like, he says, I'm Batman every time. And it's like a running joke, but it's kind of like when people indirectly make cries for help. He's indirectly telling you, I'm not Bruce Wayne, I'm Batman. I'm pretending like I'm Bruce Wayne day to day. So
That's his secret identity.
He's the inverse of Clark Kent.
yeah. And then the thing that, going back to where I was going to, the thing I like the most about this movie is that out of a 3-hour movie, I only saw Bruce Wayne for like 10 minutes. And I was like, oh, thank you. Because I do not care about this emo Richie Rich.
Yeah.
I don't care about him.
We only saw him
at
for
all.
2 scenes without even his black underline.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
and I'm just like, yes.
Yeah, like it really wasn't him at all.
I was like, this is perfect.
And one thing that I just realized this recently, that Wayne Manor, I always knew Wayne Manor was outside of Gotham. But, you know, when someone flashes the bat signal, Homeboy lives outside the city, so he got to go down to the Batcave, change, and then drive like 40 minutes to the
commute.
city. You know what I mean?
Commute.
I mean, granted, his car is fast, but that's still a drive.
I mean, he used his motorcycle for majority of it.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
no, but
Yeah,
what I'm saying is, this version of Batman, he grew up in Wayne Tower. Even though, like in the comic books, Wayne Tower had the little points.
Oh yeah.
So, this version of Batman lives in Wayne Tower, grew up in Wayne Tower. The Batcave is under Wayne Tower. So I'm just like, because like in the trailers and stuff, it's like, oh, he's just a temporary Batcave in the subway.
Mm-hmm.
Then they fucking show bats. I was like, oh shit, this
That was
is the
cool.
Batcave.
Yeah.
That was cool.
So so I like this version. I hope every version of Batman going forward makes Wayne Tower like his home. Like that's where he works, that's where he lives, and the Batcave is under. Because it makes more sense. Wayne Tower is in the center of Gotham, so he can get anywhere within 10, 15 minutes if he's like in the center of the city. As opposed to being way the fuck out here, and he got to drive way into the city. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
What if somebody just spots him like driving from that long distance? He's like, wait, only one person lives out there. Nobody else takes this route.
It's like the Batwing is flying way over. Is it Wayne Manor that way? Like if Wayne Tower is in the center of the city, the Bat he can have any kind of secret entrance wherever the fuck in the city and get there. The Batwing doesn't necessarily need to be parked with anywhere near this doesn't make any sense. Let's continue on. Batcave was a note. We checked off Batcave. So Batman. Your thoughts on Batman?
My thoughts on Batman. I thought he was a great Batman. He was young, is what we wanted. It was supposed to be year 2. I mean, Robert already looks young. Like, he already looks like a younger person.
How old is he?
He's in his 30s, I think.
He's about young years old.
He's young.
Young years old. But yeah, like he was a young Batman that kind of didn't know what he was doing yet. Like
hell no,
he was just vengeance. Like that's what he kept saying. He wasn't justice. He was vengeance. So like he was just taking revenge, and so he just wanted to beat people up because he was
sad.
He was sad and angry.
You know what? I get it because when I watch the news and I'm just like, because my friend went to see it last night, and we were having a talk because I was in my feelings because of the state of the world right now. And I was like, the opening scene, the first scene when Batman appears, that's what I want to do sometimes.
When he walks through the shadows?
He walks through the shadows and beat the shit out of those people.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I was like, I felt everything he was feeling.
That's
I
the best part
felt
of the movie,
all
man.
of that rage.
Yeah,
I felt it.
That's his therapy right there. Like he's getting it out.
I
just
was
has to
like,
go.
man, I wish I could just dress up like a bat and beat fuckers up. But
Like he's allowing himself. Like when he took it off, like when he took the costume off, you saw his back. and all those bumps and bruises everywhere. I'm like, he wants this.
Yes,
like,
he's very unmuscular back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that.
he wants like
Man,
all
they
this
tried to
pain.
make it look
I know they really tried.
Yeah.
His
He-
very I'm not gonna work out because I don't want to mess up the male image back. Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah,
He's
But-
That's what he
35
said.
years
That's what
old,
he
by
said.
the way.
35.
35.
35. Yeah, he's still young. So that's like a prime time for for that age of a Batman. He's still trying to still trying to figure out what he's
Yeah,
doing.
that's like
Yeah.
comic because Batman. I think in the comic books he was like in Batman Year One. I think he was like 28ish,
Mm.
and the Dark Knight trilogy he was 30. It was his 32nd birthday, and Batman Begins,
Mhm.
and so it's he's in his 30. What was weird, and it freaked me out because I'm so used to watching Batman movies when I was growing up. So the Waynes always died a long time ago.
Mhm.
A
Mhm.
long time ago, maybe in
Gosh,
the 80s or
yeah.
something. But they had the news report, and in the top corner it said 2001. Thomas Wayne was alive in 2001. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, they always got to move the every time they do one of these superhero origin movies. They always got to move it.
They got to move it
forward.
Yeah.
back.
Like,
And so it was just so weird thinking that Thomas Wayne was alive in 2001.
Yeah.
Honestly, the video looked like it wasn't from 2001 from what they showed. I was like, that looks like it's from the 80s or 90s. Like, it doesn't look like 2001.
Well, 2001 was, that's 2 years from 99.
Still, like, it was really, really, really grainy.
you
Like, there was
said
a lot of
2
things.
years from 90.
Was it?
I'm sorry to cut you off. but
Wait,
that was
wait.
funny to say it. It is, but it's just
Oh, I
that's
said it's
That
my bad
sounds
fault.
weird, though. It sounds weird when you say it.
just 2 years
2
from
years.
99.
2 years from 99. I'm missing a joke, apparently.
No, it's just funny
Yeah.
because it's just like, oh, in 99, audio video looked like this, and in 2001, we're in the future now. Yeah, that's
Oh, hell no. 2001 is
No, it wasn't.
I hate everything about the early 2000s. It was just such a garbage. It's like a teenager of the decades.
Yeah.
Everything was so weird. Fashion was weird. Music was weird.
yeah.
Movies were weird. Everything tried to be like the Matrix. If you remember all the kung fu fighting people used to
I
do.
feel attacked.
Oh,
like,
I'm
that's my
sorry.
favorite.
Was that your favorite era?
Yeah. I love 2000s like hip hop and R&B.
I love the music.
Oh,
Yeah, I love
I'm
the music.
sorry.
Yeah,
I was
for
taking
real.
back.
It's fine. It's fine. Well, I was gonna ask you guys if I can, do detour right now. How do you guys feel about him journaling? Like,
That's also comic accurate.
is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. And the way he just narrated in the movie,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
something that happens in the books. This movie, like I said, is very it's not an action movie, so it's just like an old noir from
We're
19.
we're basically in a detective
like the
movie.
1950s.
Yeah.
If you ever seen a movie
Yeah.
from like the
Mhm.
early 50s, and it's
Mhm.
like, I dropped Sally off at the port, and see, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever accent.
It's like it's
Dick
like those
Tracy
old,
ass.
it's like those old
yeah,
PI
it was very
movies.
like
Yes.
Dick Tracy.
It's basically like an old PI movie. That's it
Yeah,
felt
yeah,
like
yeah.
those
Yeah.
black and white PI movies.
Yeah, it was very nostalgic in that
Mm.
that sense. I love that aspect of it.
Yeah, it was
But-
a noir crime thriller
Mhm.
in color.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was like a
Yeah, it's like a
detective film. It kind of brought it
mystery.
back again
Mhm.
with the comics when he was a detective. It wasn't
Mhm.
because we haven't gotten a detective Batman film. in
Never.
Yeah.
I mean, even Christian Bale just kind of skipped through that shit. It was like a montage whenever he was.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
trying
that's
to
like
figure-
Batman's like a huge
Yeah,
part of
and
his
I like
thing.
how he
He's
just
a detective.
he just stared at things. Part of it because he was
I was gonna
recording
say
it
he
with
was
his
recording
eye,
it.
but then also he seen his homeboy's thumb, and then he knew what it was. I can't snap.
That
Yeah,
thumb
he
drive.
knew
and
what
with
it
like
was.
with the scissors and stuff, like he stared at that, like all these little details. He just came
Mhm.
and he's like, "I'm just
There's this
processing.
the Batman. I forget this was kind of like an anime sequel to the Batman Begins, and there was a detective short in that, and he some of the-
Gotham Knights.
yes, Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
And
See, I
he's
like
like,
the
there's Gordon. I think it was Gordon. He was reading something. He's like, Killer Croc got this disease and is a epidermal. And then he comes to epidermal. I can do it. Like he did epidermalic hyperkeratosis. Basically, like
We'll believe you.
yeah. No, I can say it really fast in my head. I was like, whoa, that's the smoothest shit. And he just knew what it was. He's like, it was skin disease. Or he just was spilling it out like
Yeah.
it was
Mhm.
yesterday's news, you know? So, but Um, his technology though, speaking about I don't even know how the eye camera works.
I mean, it was cool. It makes sense. Like I talked to you about it. It makes sense for like how he memorizes everything. Like every other like Batman's just known.
No,
Like,
he
I
just
remember
had,
all these
like,
details. He's like, no, I don't remember
photographic
shit.
memory, basically. But that was the only outrageous thing out of all of his technology was the camera
The
contact. But everything else was believable, like his grappling
Yeah.
hook, the Batmobile, even his cape. I was kind of like, it's like a squirrel suit. He turned into
Yeah.
a squirrel suit.
Well,
I mean, I liked it.
It wasn't that. That went in and that was separate. That's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
I know, but his cape was missing, so it must have been like his cape.
Yeah, no, it wasn't his cape.
No.
His cape latched in first, and then the squirrel suit was separate. That's what, because I remember liking that part a lot.
Yeah, because you can see on the side of his suit,
Yeah.
you can see the seams. So I know it came out of his suit.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was like, hey, it's real. I believe
Yeah.
it.
And
Yeah.
I love that part because it messed up. It fucked up.
Yeah, that was the best part.
It was fantastic. I love that Batman like had a flop.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just one. He only had
Yeah.
one flop,
Right.
but it was a nice flop. It was
Good.
like he's more human. Like
Yeah, they need to show that.
Yeah.
Because my biggest gripe was when, especially for DC heroes, whenever they show their origin stories, they never show them stumble. Like when we
Right.
see Iron Man, you saw him bounce all over the place.
Yeah.
I
love that.
Cap,
Yeah.
Spider-Man, you see them like mess up. But Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Flash technically hasn't had his.
Well, I
run
mean,
yet.
with Superman, they kind of skipped through it because he grew up having to control his powers.
Yeah, but
So
we
they
never really get
kind
to
of
see it.
montage that. So
yeah.
it's just him. When he's Superman, he gets to be himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah. I kind of wish they would have showed the growth though. Like,
Yeah, but they don't do that with like you said, they don't do that with Wonder Woman. She's perfect the whole time.
Yeah.
Because Wonder Woman is perfect. Yeah, okay.
And she's perfect the whole time. Yes, like from when Superman was Superman though, like when he was actually his hero self, he didn't mess up really.
yeah,
Like him as a kid, that he can because he's not Superman yet. But when he became Superman, he just had it done. He just had it perfect.
yeah, like the part in Superman from the 70s. I'm sorry, we're going to derail for the 2 seconds. When he caught Lois when she was falling off the building, he's a man of steel at that speed. Like Sheldon said, he should have cut her in half.
Oh, yeah.
So stuff like that,
Yeah.
he didn't get you.
Yeah.
They didn't show him get used to. Like in
Mhm.
Invincible, when they showed him like he accidentally, like when he catches somebody and he rolled on the ground, he's like, "Are you all right?" And he looks to see, and she's dead. It's like stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Or
They
like
need to
Andrew
show us.
Garfield's Gwen.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Oh, what in The Boys when he bumped into that girl and she exploded?
Yep.
I can't watch that show. That show is Jesus Christ.
Shows perfection.
I can't watch it. It's so offensive because I love superheroes.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
mean,
makes
I
it
love
so
that.
great.
I know. I'm just like, fuck. I can't.
I'm actually excited for the next season because they're gonna make fun of Marvel more, and I'm just like, all right, cool. This show is catered for me because it makes fun of the Justice League. I'm just like, all right, let's get to making fun of Marvel too because I like
Yeah.
it from both sides. But
are these two still recording?
yeah, I'm watching the Reds. I'm watching the Reds.
The Batmobile was a freaking beast. It was threatening.
It was.
It pounced like a dog. You know when a dog is into it's like, "Arr."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it was.
Yeah. I
Like I
liked
looked
it.
at it, I was just like, it looks cool, but I'm just like, they're never gonna show him exit this car.
Yeah. You
No,
said that.
no.
They're never gonna
Yeah.
show him exit or enter the Batmobile,
Yeah.
and they didn't because it's silly.
It's gonna be stupid. Yeah. I mean, I like the Batmobile. I thought it might have been too dark. Like, I thought it was too dark of a scene for
It's
it.
the Dark Knight.
I know it's supposed to be dark, but like
He's
without
supposed to hide in the shadows.
without the big light in the back, all I could see is the big light in the back and not the car.
It's
That's
a
the
fucking
point.
jet
You just
engine.
hear fear.
Yeah, it was pretty terrifying. That like high pitch, like it
You
went
know,
on
I was
for a
listening
while,
to the
too.
soundtrack. I think
Yeah.
that was the soundtrack.
Oh,
But
I'm like, did it make noise then?
He was
yeah,
playing-
I mean, I think that was the because it is a jet engine. So,
Right,
but then
so I
in
thought
the
it was
in the
just heating up.
soundtrack, it still had that high pitch when you listen to. I think it
It was
was
terrifying.
what's the name of the song?
Batmobile.
No, I'm gonna cut this off because we're already an hour in.
Car in the Darkness.
No, it is called.
Enter Sandman.
Vroom Vroom of Doom.
Vroom vroom of doom. The name of the song was called Highway to Anger Zone.
I was close. I'm sorry. Vroom Vroom of Doom was really close to that.
Danger sound.
But yeah, the Batmobile was, man, I want a model of the Batmobile.
It looked like he stole that from Toretto. I'm not gonna lie. That was my first thought.
I was thinking that too. I was like, this turned into a Fast and Furious movie
Real quick.
Yeah. I mean, the best part of that scene was Oswald. Like
100%.
the
Yes.
best part of that
Yes.
whole
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, he's a different. Let's go ahead and talk about Cobblepot.
Please, because he may be my favorite character in this movie.
Earmuffs.
But like every version of the Penguin has been different, but yet still the Penguin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's the Arkham version. He was like Australian, and he had a freaking Coke bottle stuck in his eye.
Mm.
I don't want to speak about the Gotham version. I
Let's
mean,
not.
it's cool because I like he kind of had a birth defect, so that's why he was kind of wobbled when he walked.
Mhm.
And then there's the '90s version that Danny DeVito was just.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean the whole '90s movie is just.
Eating raw fish, biting people's noses.
Yeah, he made me not like fish.
I mean, Danny DeVito played. That was his role. I mean, if they were gonna do
I
that,
don't
he's the
hate
only
that
one that
pa-
could do it.
I don't hate that penguin, but there are some scenes where I just gotta nope.
Ooh, unpopular opinion. Then that's my favorite penguin.
I
felt
mean,
like he
like I
was
said, I don't
disgusting.
hate him, but I can't. He's
It's
just real gross.
disgusting.
He's just
Yeah.
nasty.
I liked it because it made you feel uncomfortable. Because I'm big into horror movies, so
Yeah.
that one it felt darker to me, so I liked it for that.
Penguin.
Was there a question?
Oh,
Yeah, your
our thought
opinion.
process.
Your opinion.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
no, I'm saying he was my favorite character in this movie.
Oh.
Like I loved, I just loved how he looked. I love how he acted. Like I love like in that fight, like chase scene. It was so exciting, and he's like so happy. Like I got you.
He's like, I got you, you psycho.
I know. And as he seems like a psycho, right? And then
Yeah.
I love like cinematography of it, of them showing Batman walking up upside down, like from his point of view. I was
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
thank you. Like this is so cool to watch. Like, and I loved his accent. I loved the little waddle. You know when
I
he's
didn't
like,
notice his waddle really.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
all-
it was
in
real. That's why.
Yeah.
in the part where he's like, you two should, are you guys gonna start harmonizing? When him and Gordon.
Oh
Take
yeah,
him-
when they were
take
going
him-
back and forth on
Yeah.
cruise.
He was like, are you gonna start
He was just
harmonizing? And then
hilarious.
he's like, you guys, I'm still out here, and then he
And-
waddles,
and-
and I was
and-
like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
What's funny about that whole thing is that they went through that whole fucking car chase and they were wrong. That
Oh, right. They thought he was El Rata
Yeah.
Alata.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah.
chased him down and
Yeah.
Penguin had nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah.
No, well,
He's just a
he's
guy
bad
that's there.
He's just a gangster. Like,
Yeah, he's just trying to make
Batman
that
makes
money.
all that damage and nothing happens. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
That's a good point.
Yep.
Nothing.
Good point.
But in Bad Boys, they get yelled at for like one little highway chase. Batman
Right.
destroyed lives that day.
Well,
I mean-
he's a
I
billionaire.
mean-
You could just pay him off, right?
yeah. I don't want to because Batman, 1%er.
Yeah, that 1%. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think they know that.
True.
Yeah.
He knows it though. He knows it.
just one
He knew what he
one
was
thing
doing.
going back to when you talked about when he was upside down. That's from a movie. Like I remembered that shot clearly from like a horror movie. I just can't remember which one. And like a person was upside down in a car, somebody was coming towards them. It was a horror film.
There's another shot like that in the Fast and Furious where Letty, she's upside down, but I don't remember. I remember like the guy who comes to kill her.
Happy Death
you can
Day
see
does it.
her, but
Happy
you don't
Death,
see
yeah,
it
I
from
think that's
her
what I'm
point of
thinking.
view.
Happy Death Day does that.
But no, I feel like you're thinking of a classic movie because that movie got it from something else.
Yeah.
And it's eluding me right now where
Yeah.
it came from.
Because I'm like that's I've seen that shot so many times
Oh.
with stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to pinpoint like where did they get that? Like what movie did they bring it from the Batman?
Yeah.
Like
I
which
do
one?
like that he inverted it though. They did change it. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
it rotated
as
up.
as it kept flipping back between his perspective
Mhm.
and Penguin's perspective, like
Mhm.
Batman's and Penguin's, it kept reverting. Like it
Yeah.
would.
I like how he bent down and he just looked.
I
down.
was
Yeah.
laughing
Yeah.
so hard at that part. I was like, bing. Now I see it.
No, for me, it was killing me because Penguin technically is somebody talking a bunch of crap to you driving.
Yeah.
For me, it was like Batman was like, "You talking all that slick stuff now?"
Talking all that shit, bro. I got you.
Like I caught up to you now. What's good?
It's so funny too, because in the theater, I remember this guy walked out right as that scene like was concluding, and I was like, "Dude, worst time to leave because you don't know what's gonna happen, right?"
Yeah.
Like people go into the
He could have
bathroom.
just been there for support and not cared about Batman.
Right.
Forget that guy.
So, people's gripe about this movie is one that is too long.
Like this
And-
podcast.
Yes. And Jim Gordon and Catwoman are black.
That's a stupid reason.
I seen someone do a review, and he used the terms this woke shit. Hollywood's real woke right now. Blah, 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 blah. And then that's all he said was like, I didn't like the fact that Catwoman and Jim Gordon were black. That's all
What
he said.
about Halle Berry's
I was
Catwoman?
Going further back, Eartha Kitt.
Yeah, like Catwoman, this is the first time Jim Gordon's been black, but Catwoman historically has been black in the past, even in the comic books.
Yeah.
So that's not new.
That and like for
And
like
then,
for Jim Gordon, that doesn't matter what race he is. He's not like he's an important character, but he's not that important.
yeah,
to where
like Jim
you
Gordon
can't
being
change
white
anything.
doesn't make him less Jim. Like I feel like
No.
this is the Jim Gordon that's ever Jim Gordon.
I think
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I
agree.
feel like the reason people don't like it, we have a different experience when it comes to cops.
Mm.
And they had two lines in there
Hmm.
that was very F the police-ish.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
Zoe said it when she flat out said white privilege. I was like,
Yeah, she
wow.
did.
Yeah.
WB was okay with that.
Yeah.
And Gordon, him being a black person in a authority figure in the police, I'm just like, that's brave. And
Mm.
I knew it
Yeah,
was a
I
matter
feel-
of time before someone would
I
take
feel like Jim Gordon being black makes more sense for the character,
hmm
especially
Mhm.
with Gotham being in the hood. You know
Mm.
what I mean?
Yep.
Mhm.
yeah.
I feel like it makes more sense for Jim Gordon to be black. For it's like I can't find the words for it. I just have the feelings, but I can't. I can't vocalize it. But it just makes more sense as opposed to because it's like Jim Gordon in the past. He's military man and becomes a cop,
hmm
and he's just a do-gooder. You know, I just want to do right. But it's a whole another subtext to when you add color to it.
Yep.
So he's
Mhm.
his experience and the way people treat him
hmm
is because people treated Jim Gordon like crap, you know, just because he's not a dirty cop. But now it adds that extra flavor, that extra spice to it. It's like now it's like, oh, they gonna call him the N-word? He's like, this fucking nigger don't want to work with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
makes it a bit more interesting. He's like, oh, you know, because he does have power and he's working around all these dirty cops,
Mm.
and it's just all that much more interesting.
It also
Mhm.
kind of speaks to when you look at superheroes, and this is usually my argument with people when they say, oh, superhero movies have no context and stuff like that. I'm like, Bond is a superhero movie, but I love that. It's the
Mhm.
same thing.
Yeah.
People judge them from what they look like first before they look at the context of the movie, of the character, all that crap. So Gordon being a black guy looking at another guy who's dressed black,
He was dressed in black.
he's judging him based off of who he is, not what he looks like.
Mm.
And I feel like
Mhm.
that kind of speaks a volume to that. And it's like not something that people will notice unless you have that experience, like being judged just from like what I look like when I show up. And I like that gradually the cops were like, oh, okay, he's cool. Like when the
Yeah.
one ethnically ambiguous one, I think he
Mhm.
was
With the
Latin.
mustache?
Yeah, the
Yeah, the mustache one.
Martinez.
Like,
He got real
Yeah.
cool with that.
Hey,
It-
Bruce, Mr. Wayne.
yeah, like he got friendly. Like at first
Yeah.
he was like, hold on. First off, I'm sorry. If I'm a cop, I don't care how much I'm getting paid. If somebody in a bat suit walks up, I'm like, oh, cool, I'm letting you go. But
Right?
he put
He
his whole
stopped him,
hand.
put his whole hand on his chest. Hey, what are you doing?
He's like
I'm surprised his fingers
Like,
didn't break back.
right?
this little tiny man.
I'm
This big
like,
Batman.
And I like how he just stares at people. He's not like trying to flex up on people. He
Mhm.
just stands there.
I feel like he
But-
creeped out that kid doing that though.
With the recorder thing, now that we know that he was recording, he could have just been
Yeah.
getting like an image.
I know,
Yeah,
make sure
because
he's
he
not
was
dirty.
getting IDs.
one thing Bruce Wayne was triggered so many times in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like seeing the kid lose his parents, and then there was this someone died in the alleyway. They kind of homage back to his parents, being in the alley.
Did they?
It did something like that.
All I know is when
I can't recall them all, but it was just like, oh, Bruce is triggered, and you just see his face,
He's
Yeah.
just going through PTSD. That's what he's
Yeah.
going through.
I'm not gonna lie though, when they showed the little kid and he was eyeing the kid, I was like, please, for the love of God, don't say that's gonna be Robin. Please.
No,
Like,
I was like,
it
please
wouldn't
don't.
be Robin. There's no way. He's
no,
got a mom.
if they do Robin, he's not going to be a boy.
But this is WB that
That's
we're
what
talking
I
about.
think.
That's what.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
they're gonna make a.
Well, they've
girl
already.
Robin.
That's
Oh,
a
did they
different. That's
already?
a different Robin though.
Yeah.
Is that a
That's
thing?
what I'm saying. That's
What?
Yeah,
the female one. That's a
I
different.
forget her
Robin.
name. It starts with an S.
Carrie Kelly.
I'm thinking of her code
And
name.
then there's Carrie Kelly, and
Yeah.
then there's Stephanie Brown. The two
Stephanie
female
Brown is who I
Robins.
remember more. Yeah. But
And
she was
then
very
there
short. as a
then there
Batman.
was Raven. There's
Oh, I remember.
no, she's not Harper Rowe, and she was like a Robin-ish character.
Mhm.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like when WB does these side characters, I don't like when they skip complete arcs. And I was really hoping they wasn't gonna speed up. And the thing I
Yeah.
feel like this movie does the best is it just plays its
It
own
takes
race.
its time.
Agreed.
Yeah, it just did its own race.
Yeah.
It wasn't trying to be an MCU movie. It wasn't trying to play catch up.
Mhm.
It's just like,
They took the time.
this is a Batman
Yeah.
movie. And I'm just like, do this for all your movies.
Yeah.
And y'all will do fine. Y'all don't need to play
Mhm.
catch up.
Mhm.
Just y'all were here first, technically. With
Yeah, they
Superman,
were.
They were here first. So I'm
They
just
were.
like, you don't have to play catch up. Marvel had to play catch up, and they caught up and surpassed them. And done.
Yeah.
But,
They won.
Like, let's be real. I'm like, but it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. I mean, I'm still
Exactly.
Team Marvel, and they're kind of like 2 decades ahead of them, literally.
Mhm.
But DC is making the mistake of trying to catch up when they don't need to. They
Yeah.
need to stop being competition and just live side by
Yeah.
side. We need that alternative. Like for every Iron Man, we need a Batman. For every Spider-Man, we need a Flash. For every Superman, we need anybody because everybody's better. I only said that because you, Corey. I'm just joking.
But no, I get that. Like they could just leave little hints and Easter eggs. Like one I liked was when Catwoman went to Bloodhaven.
Oh yeah, she mentioned Bloodhaven.
Yeah, and that's Nightwing's.
oh, and then
territory.
before
Yeah.
we get
Yeah.
before we get to Alfred, there is a scene with Alfred, and then there's a statue of I think it was Shakespeare. It was the same statue that was in Batman '66. You pull the head back and then press the button, and then and he slides down the poles. It was that same statue. But again, back to Jim Gordon. Their relationship in this movie is not like any other in Batman movies, because Jim Gordon is always around, like especially in the old Batman movies. Jim Gordon was like, yeah, Batman, he's just the old man, and he was just around. And then there was the Nolan.
I
But
did like that Gordon. Though.
He
Not
was a
gonna
good
lie.
Gordon.
I
He
like
helped.
Yeah.
But still, he didn't help. Like this Batman was by his side. It was almost like Sherlock Holmes and Watson.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
he
Oh,
said, "Yo,
definitely.
you got to jaw me," I was like, "No, he didn't." So, like, you got to hit me, man. That was the best part.
And then they were just
Right? I
whispering
love
back and
that.
forth. to
Yeah,
each
he was
other.
like, "You got to hit
Yeah,
me,
and he
man."
was like acting like this. It was I
It
do
was
like
amazing.
Jim Gordon. This guy, Jeffrey Wright, he plays in the Hunger Games, and I've always liked him. I didn't know he was not black. Like I don't remember. Like I
He was in
never
Shaft
read.
too.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
That's where I got introduced to him. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
I was just thinking this is him being black. I didn't know that was an issue because I didn't even think of that being like. I just saw him as the actor that I liked in Hunger Games, right? So
Mhm.
Yeah,
But
some people just aren't capable of complex thinking, and they have very small brains, and simple things like color infuriate them. So
Yeah, our existence just pisses people off sometimes.
Yeah.
all over the world, man.
Yeah, every time someone like, and it's gotten to the point when people say woke, I'm just like, do you
You know what you're saying?
like for that's like for y'all, woke for us is Tuesday. It's
Right?
like, everything y'all talking about is just like, all right, glad y'all catching up, but oh, whatever. And it's like then now it's at the point where like if they don't like something, they'll say, "Oh, it's just too woke." I'm just like, it's not though. It's just like y'all talk about how stuff doesn't matter and equality this, quality that, but the minute you change the color palette of something, that's when people get upset. Like the only time a character shouldn't change is if, and it's mostly ours that have to do this.
If it's related to their story.
Yeah, like when they do something like, oh, the character's from Africa and his name is Black Panther.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't have
Yeah.
like
Right.
Christian Bale do that.
It's-
Chris
Tom-
Hemsworth,
or
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Tom Hanks or something like that.
Like another example of all that happens, like that Little Mermaid movie coming out and how
Mhm.
she's gonna be black, and
Mhm.
everyone's having a huge issue with that
Yeah.
because I mean she's obviously white in the cartoon, but
Yeah.
like it doesn't change her
Well,
story.
And
mermaids
she's also a
aren't-
mermaid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
mermaids
not
are like
real.
actual like freaking monsters. So
Yeah. I
Like,
mean, like,
she's
so,
not real.
as long as her hair is red, I don't care.
Exactly,
what
that's
color
me
it is.
too. As long as her hair is red, because that's iconic.
Yeah, like when
That's all
Wonder
that
Woman
matters.
came out, my only gripe was that her eyes weren't the right color. That was it.
Mm.
I mean, I also don't like that she looks kind of tiny. Like
Yeah.
Wonder Woman should
Yeah,
look like she
yeah.
can deadlift a planet. She
Mm-mm.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
her eyes and her non Chun-Li looking legs kind of threw me
Yeah.
off. So-
Alfred Pennyworth. Not much to say about this Alfred.
Not
He
at
wasn't
all.
in there very much. I mean, he was in the hospital.
Yeah, most of the movie.
Yeah.
He was just there so Bruce would have that moment,
Mm-hmm.
so that
Mhm.
he would feel human
He
again.
was
like-
hiding
to,
shit
like,
from
move-
Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
To
like
move
he had
the
that
story
moment, and
forward.
then he felt like Alfred's his dad. Like,
Mhm. That was his dad moment.
yeah,
I like
that-
that.
that's his dad moment.
This Alfred Pennyworth is the Earth One. It's like they sprinkle Earth One Alfred into all the more modern versions of Alfred, but this
Mhm.
Alfred taught him how to fight, raised him,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
all the daddy stuff.
And he had the nerve to say, "You're not my father."
I was like,
You're not my
disrespect, you gonna get
dad.
slapped.
But that's totally a thing a kid would do, right? Like, you're
Yeah.
like,
That's
shut
the thing
up.
a rich kid would do.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
it's a thing. Rich kid.
You're not my dad. But there's really not too much to say about Alfred. He's
No.
a cool Alfred. I want to see him beat somebody up.
Yeah, I do too. I wish I wish he could have. I wish like somebody broke in like to their mansion.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
That would've been
that's
tight.
where it
The
would happen.
one thing I can give Gotham, I hate that show, but that Alfred was pretty cool. Like I was intimidated about that Alfred on that TV
Mhm.
show. I was just like,
I
this
kinda-
butler gonna beat me
because
up.
he was in his prime.
Yeah.
he wasn't.
Oh
an
yeah,
old
because
guy.
Bruce was like a teenager.
Yeah, he wasn't old yet.
I just don't like the inconsistency of the pimp game that he had.
I was hoping you
Yeah.
brought that
Like
up.
he just walked with it once, and it was like, I don't think you've ever been injured. Somebody need to hit you in the knee,
Yeah.
and then you like go through like character development.
yeah,
But that was literally my only gripe with him. Everything else, I thought he was fine. Like he's an amazing actor. Even though he was better in Black Panther. He's an amazing, he's an amazing actor.
And
but
the Lord of the Rings.
right, but I just didn't buy the limp.
yeah.
And I kind of wish with you, like, if they would have showed him limping and then like someone would have like infiltrated
Mhm.
Wayne Manor,
Wayne Tower.
and then yeah,
Wayne
that's where he
Tower.
was. I forgot. Honestly, my brain just like negated that. I'm like, he ain't in no
And
Trump
it was,
Tower.
so,
I
it
mean,
was so
Wayne Tower.
it was so gothy and
Yeah, it looked like it was still a mansion.
Yeah.
That's when he
Yeah.
was rolling up to it. I'm just like, where is he driving to? Does he have two Wayne top manors?
I mean, low key.
and then it was like
probably
an
does.
explosion of top. I'm like, oh, earmuffs.
Right. But he could have been like like the movie Kingsman, like the newest one that came out. He
Yeah.
could have done like that with that actor with his cane, and then he went to fight.
Yeah, that's
somebody.
what I mean.
That
That's what I
would've
mean.
been
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, or he pulled like a Yoda where he was like limping, and then all of a sudden he just drops the cane.
And then he starts floating and flipping.
I mean, it's Alfred. I'd believe it.
be like unusual suspects.
Right?
Yeah.
Straight fucking-
Well, I feel like it's safe to say that we'll see more of him. Like, there's definitely going to be another movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
nother. This Batman needs a Robin.
He does need a Robin.
You
I
think in
feel
the
like
next movie,
this one he
or
does.
could we take at least another? Movie
I feel like
in
they'll
the-
I think
introduce
that
him in the next
yeah, I feel like they'll spend the second movie building up, and then he'll be in the third movie,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like Batman and Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can I ask a question real quick? I hope I'm not jumping too fast. So at the very, very end, you know,
Earmuffs.
and maybe I should speak softer. But okay, so you know how they're two laughing in the
Oh yeah, the ending.
are
I was
they-
about to wrap the
Yeah.
show up.
Wow, you were about to. I thought you were gonna say.
no. I just mean like, are they alluding to it being another Joker?
Yes,
Yes.
the
Yes.
director already said yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the actor is the one that played Druid in Eternals.
In Eternals, yeah.
Yeah, that's him. And like, if you saw, there was like this Easter egg I saw. It was in Riddler's house with all his pictures and stuff. And there's the picture of Bruce Wayne. You could see his smile in the back, in the
Yeah, it's
background
weird.
behind him. I was like,
This is a weird picture.
but yeah, the whole thing is like, is this a Joker that, like, if it is him, is it one that like Batman's already fought, or was he already detained and so he hasn't?
why is he
Someone
wearing that?
mentioned that this is when he shows up. It's going to be pre-Joker, so he's not even Joker yet.
Yeah,
But he's just disfigured. He has a birth defect where he's like,
yeah.
you know.
So I'm just like, it's gonna be really cool how he pops up because he's gonna be like how this movie was scary.
Yeah.
This is like the scary Batman movie, so he has to be like even scarier. Yeah,
You
But I
mean
feel
Joker
like-
needs to be scarier?
I feel like he needs to be. I
he
feel
needs
like
to be
I wanted-
different from what came before, because now
Yeah.
we're at what, 4 Jokers?
That's what
Yeah.
I'm getting
Within
at.
this
Yeah,
decade?
Yeah.
I want it to be the rip face one. That's what I want.
Time out. 4.
I mean,
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto,
Heath Ledger,
Heath Ledger.
Jack Nicholson.
No,
Decade, you said, though, right?
within the past 10 years.
Yeah, that was only 2. No.
And then
the Gotham one? Is that the one you're talking about? Is that another one?
I won't count TV show. I'm just
Okay.
movie Jokers.
So still just 2, right?
No, Jared Leto,
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger, this guy,
Oh, yeah, I wasn't even counting them.
and
who's
Joaquin Phoenix.
Wow, that's what I was trying to think of his name. I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah,
That's sad.
I
That's
had
like
his-
my favorite right
he's
now.
just staring.
He is my favorite. Yeah,
I have an image of him in my head, just smiling, and I
Oh.
couldn't spit
Yeah.
it out.
I feel bad. Like how you felt about Ben Affleck. That's how I feel about Joaquin. Because that's like,
He's my favorite.
I personally hate when they make an origin story for a character that the cool thing about the character is they don't have an origin story. So I'm a Joker fan, but I was against this movie. I still went to go see it because as an actor, Joaquin Phoenix
Yeah, he's
poops on
great.
half of Hollywood.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm going to see that. And then I was just like, this is dope.
He killed
this is a
it.
great
That's dope.
movie. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
great movie.
Yeah.
And Bruce Wayne was still in it.
I was like, my bad,
Yeah.
dude. I didn't.
He was his technically brother. He was his half brother or something.
No,
No,
part
no,
of it,
the
like
wife, mom was crazy. So it wasn't.
Yeah.
That wasn't even true.
Oh,
But
that was a mislead.
Yeah. Everything about that movie is questionable. That's what's so good. You had like how much that movie is almost 2 hours long, and it told a story that was questionable. It's like, did anything happen in this movie? You know,
It's kind of like that one. What's it called? It was an animated one of the Joker. It was a bunch of backstories for the Joker.
Mask of the Phantasm?
I think so. Yeah, it was just multiple ones, and it was just because you don't know his backstory, so they gave you a lot.
Pretty sure that's Mask of the Phantasm, which is one of my favorite Batman movies ever. Period.
I'll add that to my list.
okay. Final thoughts on The Batman.
It was great.
I saw it twice in 1 week.
Oh, look at you. I didn't have time to see it twice.
I still don't understand how he goes to the bathroom, but cool, I'll believe that.
And also, he changed very quickly.
Yeah,
That
he
one
carried
time,
his suit in his backpack.
He like ran in there, and then he was already upstairs.
I give him credit for that, though. I give him credit for that.
Maybe there's just a zip up in the back. You know, we don't see.
Kind of like
Really
Spider-Man.
cute.
He just jumps in and just like.
This is probably, I kind of want to talk about a suit for like 2 seconds. I mean, I know we're rapping, but I personally like that he just had boots on and it wasn't like a suit. Because in the beginning, you know, you don't have your whole suit together. So even with Catwoman, like how she didn't have her whole suit, I like that Batman didn't have his whole suit together.
Yeah.
My only gripe was that his batarang was in his chest. That's it.
I mean, yeah, I wanted to bring that up. I forgot about it. Because I seen him reach into his chest and he just pulled that out. I'm just like, and it was just a knife.
Yeah.
And also
What is it supposed to be?
earmuffs. Also when he's dangling and he makes that cut. I'm sorry. Why didn't you make the cut here? And it was where you're. Come on.
Dramatic.
Like,
Right. He could have
Well,
made it anywhere, honestly.
He fell with the cord, right?
because he cut
Yeah.
it up here, where above where he was holding. He could have had his hand here.
Dude, he just
Put his
saved the
feet
whole
there.
city, basically. So give him.
I mean, he's tired. He's tired.
Yeah.
And
He already took the
Then he
adrenaline
ejected.
Yeah, he took
yeah.
the adrenaline shot. He's not thinking
Yeah,
straight.
He wouldn't make suicidal decisions. I don't care
But
how
this,
tired you
This
are.
is
Well,
also
you know-
year
you
2
know-
Batman. We already discussed he made a flop earlier. Like,
Yes.
That's
He hit a
the
bridge.
thing.
he's floppy,
Yeah, yeah,
man.
yeah.
He ran into a bridge.
He should have learned. He should have learned, man.
He's
True
just
enough.
like at this
But
point. He's like,
the battering is just
Yeah.
it is what it is. It is what it sounds like.
It's a
Yeah.
boomerang. It's also a bat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, back in the day, that's how he
Battering.
used it. He'll throw it at
it's
people.
like his most
Got it.
signature weapon that he
Mm.
Yeah.
uses. Like that's like his
But
thing.
over the years, they became like ninja stars.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I see.
So now,
Cut a
it's-
bitch.
I mean, he doesn't even really use them anymore, like
Nope.
modern day
Yeah.
Batman. So for it just to be like I mean, Batman don't need batarangs anyway.
And he took the time to put it back in his chest before he fell. Like that was my gripe too. I was like, I'm saying, wait, you're falling, and your
Dude,
thought is gotta put this back.
He's only got one.
I know. And it's worth
He
like
got the one.
$1,500. No.
Was supposed to be the guns that shot his parents.
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
supposed
that's
to
what
be-
people
Yeah.
are saying is the gun.
Yeah.
I see.
Well, seeing a better close up, it looks like it's a disassembled
Yeah.
gun, and I'm just
Mhm.
like, that's dope. You couldn't have thought of anything else to do with that, but that's cool.
Yeah, he keep that pain close to his heart.
Yeah,
Keep him
Yeah.
motivated.
technically, Batman uses guns
Yep, it's true.
through the whole movie.
He's like, that's your thing, man.
Okay, that has been our discussion on the Batman. This has been a pretty long episode, so I may and I can take a break because I need it. Because if I'm not editing these podcasts, I'm working, and I like to have time for myself just to do nothing but just sit in my underwear. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Amen, brother.
So again, welcome our 2 new members of the DYNA CAST Alliance, Miss
High five
Tessa
yourself.
Davis and Michael Antonio.
The
Michael Antonio. Rich is still around. He's on assignment right now, and Christina is lost in space. She'll be back hopefully one day.
You want to say it?
We gotta say it.
We gotta say. You guys know what to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say deuces. I don't know.
No, yeah, we do the.
Gotta say our phrase.
This is our phrase.
I didn't know if it was real because last time she looked like she didn't want to do it. Just like, oh my god, he is holding me captive. Help me. Like I was like, wait, is that what you're supposed to do? I'm like,
Yeah, no, we're so.
No, we're trying to make it a thing. It's an issue every episode. All right,
Ready?
and that has been DYNA CAST episode 4. And you guys ready?
Yep.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
DYNA CAST power up.
I think mine was the best. That was the best.
Best one ever.
And